Hello and welcome. My name is Lannister. Alright, today, guys, I wanted to try something a little bit different. We're going to be going over the most recent update, but I want to try to be a little bit more exciting and more interesting. So, without further ado, let's take a quick look at this newest update. So, a couple big things that happened. First and foremost, we have Sonara was awakened, and I'm going to be talking about Sonara in just a moment, but definitely a lot to talk about there. Next, we have Winter Celebration. I think this is basically the same event that we've had a few times before, where it does the whole 30 days thing. I'll show that really quickly, but there are a lot of kind of mystery events that we're going to be getting throughout it. Always a lot of fun. Love getting free stuff, so no complaints there. Okay, the Siege of Winterfell stuff. I'm going to talk about this right now. I am really intrigued about the changes they made to Siege of Winterfell. I think that Siege of Winterfell in general is kind of a very divisive event, but I think that the biggest thing that I've noticed is they basically changed the map, how to navigate and how to get around, and they've changed some of the visual cues for it. So there's all these bridges and things like that, but also, and this is the biggest one for me, they've added a little health bar above each of your troops, which I adore it. I think it is so great. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to see it here actually. I don't. Let me see if I go to the beginner tutorial if they show it there. Doesn't really look like they show it here. I'll try in the battle experience, see if they actually show it now with the way it is. But I adore this change. It was a phenomenal change, really helpful. It just allows you to visualize how well you're doing and whether or not troops are about to die or not, how you're doing against an opponent. And it allows you to help kind of notice, oh, we need to focus down this guy. His troops are low. We can finish him off. So I really like that. Okay, it actually looks to me like the battle experience. Okay, thank God they did change it. So look, so here you can see the bar that I'm talking about that represents your opponent basically and how strong they are. Okay, so let's just go ahead and make a march. We'll go ahead and attack. If I can do that. All right, here we go. And as you can see, once they start attacking, you'll see those health bars start to go down. So I just love this change. I think it is just so helpful to visually see that, and I'm a big fan of that. So great job on that. Huge. I just think it makes it really clear what's going on, and just an overall great net change. Now, I will say, unfortunately, you can't see the map in this mode, but the changes to the map, they're also very interesting. Basically, what they did is they kind of pushed all of the castles and all the different buildings you want together, but they made them kind of harder to get around, so they're way more kind of, it's almost like a maze to get around, which is definitely very interesting and kind of a different vibe for it. Okay, that was all I kind of wanted to show, was just, what was going on there. But I definitely think it's interesting. I may take time next Siege of Winterfell match just to go over that with everyone and kind of explain what the new map looks like, how to get around. But I will say that the one thing I don't like is it just takes so long to get your troops back out there that it just makes it very tough to coordinate and do a whole lot, and it kind of requires a lot of individuals to really kind of predict where people are going to go. But that being said, I'm a huge fan of Siege of Winterfell. I think it's definitely a very interesting event, and definitely there's just a lot of cool new things happening. Okay, now on to, really quickly, the Winter Celebration. Okay, so Winter Celebration, as I said before, it's like the whole 30-day thing, get a new prize every day. It's great, getting SS medals, getting epic tokens, random book of wisdoms, getting a bunch of blessing stones. It's all good stuff. No complaints here. Love that they're doing this. Thank you so much, game. We got a bunch of mystery events. Some of them are kind of less exciting than others. I expect at least one of them will be the resources collection one, which is one of my favorite events. I really do like that one as well. Other than that, I just don't know what the other ones are going to be. That's kind of the point of them being mysterious events. But there are a lot of them, so definitely some stuff to look forward to. I think you can kind of predict some of them. Like, let's see, 21 days, 16 days. Like, some of those might be like the reopening of, like, Glorious Battle, or not AC. Make it a CCS. 14 days, is that one of them? Maybe a couple 16-day ones, a couple 13. Maybe it's one of those, but who knows? Like, we'll find out soon. But anyway, Winter Celebration, just great time. Make sure you sign in and get those. Now, last but not least, we've got Sonara. Okay, let's take a look at Sonara. So, let me start by saying I mainly focus on cavalry, so my Sonara is not very strong. I think I have a green, and I'm not really pushing her awakening. So I'll quickly kind of explain what we know about her. So, like we would have expected, she gives infantry defense, infantry health, and then total attack. My understanding is that she gives pretty much the same amount of total attack as most of the rest of these commanders. If you want to look at those, it's pretty much all the same. It's nothing too crazy there. It's just going to be those three, though, and you can expect it to be roughly the same percentage you would get from either Jaime or Kevin or Theon. They're all pretty much the same in that regard as how much you're going to get. So, what is interesting about her, of course, is her 4-star ability. So I'm kind of pulling it up right now for us. But what this says is basically that there's a limit to using Sinara. And that is that you cannot, basically, if you use her, then you cannot use active army skills to initiate a weakness attack. Now, weakness attack, as you may recall, is what Jaime does. I'll go up to Jaime real quick. Jaime's 4-star ability is that when some healing happens, he does a weakness attack for his next couple of attacks. So my understanding is that this is going to greatly not synergize with Jaime, if I'm reading this correctly. Basically, your ally commanders, they can't use weakness attacks, so that's not good. Additionally, they can't use their active army skills, so that's also not great. But in exchange for this sacrifice, anytime a melee troop attacks, so that means anytime cavalry, infantry, or spears attack, there's a 50% chance that you kind of double attack, and that double attack does 30% damage. So what's interesting to me about this is that Sinara is basically saying, ditch all of the rest. Like, don't worry about army skills. Just focus on stats with her, because she's all about the troop attack. So, if you're using her, it doesn't matter what other skills you've got going on. Just focus on the stats, because she's going to eliminate their ability to even go off. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised they did this. I think that anti-synergy feels kind of very contrary to the rest of the game. I'm actually really intrigued. As you guys probably remember, when you click on this, you can see kind of what synergies occur. And as you can see, she doesn't have any. If I look at, let's say, Kevin, they're actually not giving him any synergies either. But let's take one like Salma. Salma definitely. There you go. Salma has some line of recommendations. But I think it's just kind of interesting that there aren't any for Sonara. And I wonder whether this is going to be a trend we're going to see with some of the next couple of awakenings that we get. They like to kind of do that and have that synergy, and they like to have the synergies be around some of those commanders. Also, by the way, I just want to say, I think I misspoke earlier and I said Kevin was the one that's like Jaime, and Theon and Sonara. The Layla is actually the cavalry version of that. And as we all know, Layla and Jaime are two of the most built around commanders that we have. They're both really, really essential. And Theon is one of the most essential defensive commanders that we have, and is really huge if you're going to be bow attacking, or bow defending, sorry, I should say. So Sinara, we kind of were expecting to be a really essential commander that was going to be built around, that was going to be really important. And she kind of anti-synergizes, which was kind of surprising. So maybe we can expect to see Sandor when he gets awakened, or Daenerys when she gets awakened, some sort of synergy with Sinara in some way. But definitely remains to be seen. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Learned a little thing or two about all the new things that are going on in the game. Love to do these update videos, try to keep you guys posted on what is new in GoTWiC. And until then, I'll see you next time.